Unblock your stutter, find your flow. Ahsan's journey is here to show. With tech and football, he's got the might, learning to speak and shining so bright. Okay. Hi, Ahsan. How are you doing today?
Hi, hello everyone. Yeah, I'm doing great. Really excited to be here and looking forward to have a great conversation.
Hello,
Uh,
Ahsan.
yeah.
I am Miloš. Hi,
Hi.
guys. Hope you guys are doing well.
Yes, we are doing great. I hope you, Pawandeep, are good as well.
Life moving on well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's begin.
Yeah, let's start. So, welcome, Ahsan, to our uh, fifth now annual episode of Unblock Your Stutter podcast. Um, Basically, what we promised Tirat, our last guest, was to transfer his question first to you, and then at the end of the show, you will transfer the question to the next guest that will come, if that is fine with you. Yes? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So
um,
so
the
Ahsan, we will be asking you a question today,
Right?
which was asked last week by the last guest. So Milos will be beginning from there with you today.
yeah,
That's great.
as we agreed. So, the question, Asan, is regarding the transitional stage between the bad, let's say, speech fluency to the good speech fluency in your professional life. What are the oscillations there, and how did it reflect to you uh, during the bad phase and the good one?
Yeah, right. Okay, so I remember my first job when I was graduated. I start looking for jobs, and at that time, I thought that with this problem, never be able to got one. But I was lucky. I gave my first interview, and I aced my first interview. I was passed through my first interview and got a job, and that's where the professional career actually start. At the very start, I was good on one-to-one conversation. I don't hesitate, don't stutter much in one-to-one conversation, but when it comes to meeting clients online and meeting a group of people, group of strangers, and have to talk to them, that's where I find it most difficult. But the first job was good. That was not very much of a technical job, but it giving me so much experience meeting with new clients every day and exposing myself every day with some new ones. So I learned a lot there. Starting was hard. Starting was hard, but I, I don't think that anyone in the office thinks that I have this problem because I used to hide it. I don't speak much. I don't speak when I think that because we stutterer we knows that this word is not we going to say. So I used to remain silent most of the time. But yeah, transitioning phase. You asked me. I think the
Yes.
I think the moment when I realized that I need to work on my communication, otherwise I would not grow, was was one interview experience. That was my interview, online interview, and I told you that I was very bad in online meetings.
Yeah.
And I remember the company that I got a call for the interview. That was one of the company I dreamed to work. So the interview starts. There were a bunch of people, like five people who are taking my interview. And even though I know all the answers, 90% of the answer, but I could not able to, answer them well.
Y-
I was making weird faces. I stutter all
Mm-hmm.
over, and that actually was the horrible experience of my life.
Yeah.
Of
But what is common between us two is that because we are both
All of us.
programmers, and yeah, we
All
are
of us.
both, and all of us. I don't know if it's all of us. The common is that we ace the interview, both of us. So I'm glad to
Mm.
to have that in common with you, that you
For
also
me,
had a good, and you as well did. I
for me,
was
I think
little doubtful
wow,
if you.
no, yeah,
I'm joking.
I thought I
no,
was the
no,
only one in this call who aced the first
Yeah.
interview,
no,
but
no, no.
now we were three.
Yeah, no. In fact, for me, the experiences have been really bad. The first probably I have failed 99% of the interviews. 99% of the interviews I failed. Probably those 1% uh have been good to me. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I
So
guess all the markets are tough these days.
yeah,
So,
Milos, yeah,
for
if
our
you can
viewers, yeah,
introduce.
I want to give a little bit of introduction to Ahsan. Maybe some of our viewers already saw the post for the Q&A. Unfortunately, we didn't get any questions, but there is a lot of questions for our side because Ahsan really has a rich biography. So Ahsan holds a bachelor's degree in computer engineering, which he earned from the prestigious University of Engineering and Technology, UET, located in Taxila. I hope I'm pronouncing it good.
You were brilliant.
Yeah, a reputable institution known for its strong technical programs. He's now having already 7 years of working professional background in the IT field. Same as me, 7 years exactly. You started working in 2017, right?
Yes, yes, my
Yeah,
first job was in 2017.
IT
nice.
people,
I was
my God.
graduated in
IT,
16.
we
Yeah.
have so much in common, IT
Everywhere,
people. Yeah.
everywhere, man. Come on, guys. IT people are
Wow.
like they're
Yeah.
all over the world. What is this?
Yeah, let me say that he's a cloud system administrator at company called Zones. And I will stay at that because I don't want to get too much technical about the DevOps field,
Please
which
don't.
you and I know, even though I am a React front-end developer. Also, he is the same age of me, I think. Ahsan, you were born at 94. Yeah, so we are both the same generation. He is 30 years old. I am still 29. I will be 30 and 29th of November. So
I
viewers, send
I
guests,
want one
send gifts to
clarification.
Serbia.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yes,
actually
yes, sir.
born in 93, not 94. But I
94.
just say yes because I wanted everything same. So I said yes. That's
Come
wrong.
on. You should light. You should stay light, like so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Viewers, I expect gifts on the 29th of November, please. Okay. And outside of his professional life, he's an enthusiastic football player and also a fan. He supports Manchester United. So Liverpool fans don't be mad at him.
Man City, bro.
Well,
I'm sorry, Ahsan.
you're a Liverpool
I
fan.
sup I
Yeah, no,
support
I am
Man
not.
City.
I am not.
I support Man
Yeah,
City.
I
Man
am.
City. Oh,
I am a
I'm
Red
sorry.
Star Belgrade fan. If
Okay.
someone watches the
Yeah, yeah,
Serbian
yeah.
football, yeah. Okay, guys, a lot of good emotions. So let's start with something more serious wise. Ahsan, I wanted to ask you since we are both programmers, and I want you to explain to our viewers that even though they might be on some IT field or any field that from the point of view requires less speech, is it really true that it expects less speaking, or should they prepare themselves to be more active and proactive and so on? Yeah.
right. Yeah. Thank you, Miloš, for asking this important question because most of the IT field graduates, they thought that there is not much of a communication required for getting a job. If you are a good programmer, you have to just code and just post it on a GitHub, and then that's it. But that's not true. For some extent, that's true, but on a very low level. When you started, yeah, that sometime comes to 80% of the time, you have to just write a code and just, push it to the GitHub. But the real struggle started when you wanted to grow, because now you have to discuss things. Now you have to come up with different ideas. And now to you have to show yourself that you are capable enough for architecting things, to change things. You are not a robot. You have your ideas to implement. So where I think you need to communicate, and that is very false. You can say perception that programmers, if you're a programmer, you don't need communication. I think communication is so much vital, especially for those who are in IT, to make it a robust and uh, good engineering uh, application and things.
So, yeah. So basically, you are saying that even in your field, you have to speak really well, right? Uh, and we know that we have so many people who work in your field. And there are many people who are suffering from stammering. What what one major thing will you tell them to do or to start doing for them to be more confident when they are having a meeting with their bosses? Because what happens is that people are usually scared to talk to their bosses when they are facing the stammering problem. What one major thing will you say to them for them to become better speakers?
Okay, so I wanted to tell you one thing. People are scared, not only the stammerer, but everyone. For example, talking to
Yes.
boss is difficult, right? So
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
it's actually
Yeah.
yeah, it's actually depend on a boss, because right now where I'm working, my boss is so good. She's a lady, and she's very helpful, and it is very easy to ask
He has to say
any
that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So
But
did you mention? Okay, sorry. Yeah, please go on. Sorry.
yeah, okay. So but I if I compare it, my last company, my boss was total. You can say I don't want you to say, but he was not good, and it was very difficult to talk to him. But I just wanted to say that for stammerers like us, it is difficult even with with a good bosses, although because we cannot communicate well. And when I joined this call, the unique thing about this job is that they have the stand-up meeting every day, and we have to share what we are doing every day. So at first, when I joined, at first I was very freaking out that I have to be sharing my thoughts, sharing what I was doing every day on call, in which there were 25, 30 people. So that was something very frightening for me. But after 1 week passed, 2 weeks passed, and now it is nothing for me. So what I wanted to say that it's now easy, very, very easy for me. I wanted to say that exposing yourself out, getting out of your comfort zone is actually the only way to manage those difficult situations.
Miloš?
Yeah, as the saying goes, he who doesn't risk will not profit, right?
Yes.
So one thing, Hassan, you are following the agile software development process, right? So the same meetings each week, right? Yeah.
Right.
And can you tell us, because I know you from Stammering group for a long time, in order to have that regulatory fluency each week with the same meetings but just different tasks, what kind of speech techniques do you use? And if you use, or do you just improvise your speaking with experience?
Uh, okay, so talking about the speech techniques, I used to do the same techniques most of the stammerers do, that slow speaking, breathing techniques, meditation, and elongation techniques. These are the things that I would do. And but the most important thing is to show up every day, to practice every day, to get experience every day. If you are just focusing on the techniques, that would not give you much. You have to expose yourself. For example, Stamurai, I used to attend calls every day at Stamurai. At one stage, I was so fluent in Stamurai that was not very difficult for me. That actually becomes my comfort zone. But still, I'm facing
Exactly.
problem when
Yeah.
I was actually have the online meeting to other person, because that was not the comfort zone for me, but Stamurai was. So I started, joining other avenues. I joined Toastmasters for that reason, and I expand my comfort zone with that. So I think you cannot eliminate, or you cannot replicate your experience with these techniques. Techniques are good, but if you have to use your real experience to apply those techniques, and there is no alternative of the real experience.
Yes. So viewers, Hassan just mentioned regarding the Toastmasters. In fact, we in this channel have also last week spoken to you about these things. Toastmasters are usually online or sessions in person, and you can go and meet and talk to people whom you don't know. And especially in the online meetings, these people come from all over the world, and you will be surprised to see there are hundreds of people in each of these calls. That is one thing. So, Hassan, you you mentioned regarding all the methods that you did. Uh, what question I have for you is that what is the main thing in mindset building? Because I think mindset for a stutterer to become fluent is the most essential part of growing into a good fluent speaker. So, how did you work from that phase of being not so good in speaking to being scared of speaking to now, as you mentioned, speaking in all of your meetings and speaking really well? What mindset point did you work on, and if you can share that with the viewers, that will be great.
Yeah. So look, mindset is very important because you need a motivation every day. For example, I remember when I joined Stammering, first week was awful, and I was not seeing any improvement. What my mind was saying that it's not good for me. I did not get any fluency with that. I think for mindset, making a mindset, I think first you have to keep the negative people out from your life who are constantly bombarding negativity in your life. With these peoples, you
Does
would
it
not
mean
make any.
does it mean the family members also?
Look, not keeping them out, but you can avoid them as much as possible. You can
Okay.
avoid.
Yeah.
You can make a distance, but because negativity actually ruins your life, especially those us stutterer. And also the positive self-talk is very important. You should have to write what you wanted to achieve, what you want to become, and trust the life cycle. Trust that if you are uh, experiencing or if you are practicing, trust that it will help you in a longer run. And this is what, because you cannot find yourself motivated every day. The external motivation is required. So taking notes, keeping notes on your on the desktop of your laptop, in a phone, in a screensaver of your phone, actually helps you to keep motivated and being on a right path. So I think that is helping you to making your mind uh, in a right direction. So I
And
do these techniques. Yeah.
and when you say avoid negativity from people or negative people in general, do you mean that you will have more increased stammering when communicating with them, or just in general overall negativity? What will that negativity do to you? And also a sub question to that. I myself, I am trying maybe with love and patience to approach those negative people. Um, so did you maybe try that as well, or uh, do you don't have a full confidence in that idea or approach?
Okay, so we all know that stammering is a psychological issue. When we are nervous, when we are anxious, when we are excited or sometimes sad, we face sometimes this strong stuttering issues. So what negative people do? They make uh, yourself nervous. They make yourself sad. So that is why in their presence you stutter more. And sometimes, for example, I have a friend who make fun of my stutter, and because as a
That is
stutter I
too
don't have.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, that is too much actually. And because I don't have many friends as a stutterer, I don't communicate, and you need to communicate to make friends. So I have very few friends, but if just imagine you have friend who are making fun of your stuttering. So that was the time I decided to just keep the distance. So after not having him in my life, I think I have much more improved. So yes, it is actually impacting your mindset, and you start getting nervous, and getting nervous is actually impact on your speaking ability, and you start stuttering. So that's why I
Guys,
was mentioning
yeah, guys, if you don't get the motivation from this story, uh, basically see how people who stutter in many countries in which the education is the main thing. I think education not in terms of learning different subjects, but uh, education to be social. Ehsan has mentioned, and I think many of us also have the same story. We have had friends who have made fun of something we don't want to do. It's really motivating that seeing you right now being so confident and fluent. God bless you, seriously. Okay,
Yeah.
so my next question is that, Ehsan, uh, what what aspects do you still feel that you can become better at speaking? Number one. Number two, what's your goal in the next 5 years? Not in terms of your uh, life, but in terms of your speech.
Hmm. Okay, so uh, when I graduated in 2016, the first hurdle was how can I appear in the interview? As a stutterer, it is very difficult. How can I as I have mentioned that I aced my first interview. I stayed at that job for like 3.5 years because I don't want to take any risk. So I stayed there. It was not paying me much. It was not that kind of a job that actually helped me to grow. So but I don't want to take any risk. So I stayed there for 3.5 years. But then I decided to let's move on to challenge myself, and I start applying again. So
I'm sorry, you stayed less than I in one company. I stayed 4 years to be safe. You stayed 3.5. Yeah.
uh,
You are braver.
that's yeah, yeah. One day I've decided this job is not giving me anything. I cannot, you can say, share the experience of this job with any other and can help me to get another better job. So one day I decided, no, this is it. I have to quit. So coming back to your question, I think I still not able to communicate very freely or very in a fluency in front of a group of people. That is called public speaking. I'm not very good. So I think this is one of the aspect and one of the thing that I should have to work more. I stopped joining Toastmaster because of my professional, you can say, it is actually my it is actually a night shift, and this is a clash between the Toastmaster meeting and my job timing. So that's why I stopped joining. But actually, Toastmaster was helping me to become a good speaker, to become a good public speaker. But I still think I have to join the avenues that help me uh, on this public speaking journey. This is the one ability or one aspect that I wanted to improve on. I think I'm good online. I think I'm not hesitant to give interviews. I gave interviews. I got offered from many of the companies. I'm very lucky. So that is one fear that was there in 2016. Now it's no more. Uh, okay, what was the second part of your question?
So in the next 5 years or so, what aspect do you feel in terms of your speech you want to be there? Like you see yourself that fine in the next 5 years, I can go out and talk in public. Maybe.
Yeah, okay. So there is one thing, as I have mentioned, that interview fear that is gone. Communication in a in a job that was a fear, but that is not anymore. Yet the third thing is that I'm I'm not very good talking to girls and reaching out to girls. And I think that is one thing I have to work more and try to you can say work on that. So yeah, that is, I think that is the one thing that I have to work on
Milosh?
As
next
my
5 years.
as my friend said to me at the beginning of my dating life, let's say 21, let's say I started late. Um, I'm like my friends. He said to me, the worst thing she can say to you is no. So let that be
Oh,
a rule and a
yeah.
comfort. So my question, Hassan, let's go a little in the time capsule. When you were a child, can you describe your childhood as far as stammering goes? I hope I will not trigger too many negative recollections or memories, but usually speech therapists ask you, did you had some brain the injury or something that could have triggered stammering itself? Uh, did you remember some incident? And yeah, tell us generally what you feel comfortable about your childhood and and stammering.
Yeah, right. Uh, okay, so in my childhood, I was a kid who likes to do many things, going out with friends, play every sports, and used to do fun. But when I came to realize that I have these issues, people actually making fun, then I stopped socializing. And that was the hard time that a guy who was like me, who's like to go out, like to play sports, but just because of the people making fun, he just sit in his house and not going out anymore. So that was a hard time uh, growing up. When I was first aware of my stammering, uh, it was little late. I was in a class six. A teacher asked me a question, but I did not because I was not fully attentive at that class. So I don't know what she asked. So I stand there, and I was remain silent there. One of my classmates actually told the teacher that he has a problem with his speech. That was the first time I heard that what is the problem with me. But because at that situation he's helping me to coming out of that situation, so I thought yes, I have a problem. So and then I starting concentrating about over my speech. So what is actually the problem? And then I realized that yes, this is actually the problem, and that was actually the first time I came to know about this. But my mother actually, she told me that it started when I was in a class three, but she did not pay attention much. Okay, so but childhood was very awful, you can say. School time was very uh, not very good, but university time was so bad, you can say, because anyhow in a school you can pass uh, any exam without any contributing in a class participation. But in university you have to participate. You have to. There's a marks in every tiny participation. So university time was very hard, and yeah, but the childhood was
Yeah,
very awful.
for me, high school was more tougher. I felt free once I came to university. There was a sudden change in confidence when I started living alone. Okay, Pawandeep, next
Yeah,
question, please. Yeah.
yeah. No, I think I can relate to you a lot, in fact. In fact, for me also, my my university life, and then even my school life was similar to you. Maybe I can share my own story later. But yeah, but then my next question to you is that uh, how do you see life right now? Because we are noticing that you have become a very confident speaker. So what changes in life have you seen from that phase to now? And basically, I am trying to know this, and I want the viewers to know this because when a stutterer goes out, right, there is a sense of fear. But when that same stutterer becomes a matured person, when that same stutterer becomes a more or less confident speaker, there is a change of perspective. Are we trying to, when we stutter, are we taking our speech too seriously? And when we are becoming confident, are we not taking that speech as seriously and we are just living with our life?
Yes, you're absolutely right about that because I know first time when I started my job, I used to hide my stuttering. I used to control it. And that is where I stutter more. But as you have mentioned, I have come a long way and now I'm very much better speaker. One of the reason is that I actually accept this fact. I embrace stuttering and I think that is now a part of my life. And every person have a difficulty. Every person have anything. Some people have a fear of fly. Some people have a fear of you can say water. Every person have disabilities. Some are more prominent like us. Some are not very prominent. But almost every person is suffering. So one thing that I've realized that accepting it, embracing it, embracing the stuttering, and live through it. The one thing I mentioned in the Toastmaster, you have to give the icebreaker. So my icebreaker was all about stuttering. That is where I starting accepting that fact that this is my problem. Because every person, their icebreaker was about their life, their achievement, and all. My my icebreaker is all about stuttering. What are the difficulties that I face, and it actually helps me a lot in participating in Toastmaster because now I have no more burden on my shoulder, no more stuttering burden. Everyone knows about that I have this issue, and nobody actually cares. I gave multiple speeches in Toastmaster, and it was a physical meeting, not an online meeting. There were 35, 40 people in the audience, and when you stand in front of the audience, you you see their faces, and when you stutter, and when you start seeing their faces, it doesn't care. They are more into your content, and where I realized that the stuttering is not the issue. You have to be you have to be informative. You have to have a content to share, and
Mm,
people like to listen.
mm,
Just improve yourself. Just read a lot. Just make yourself intelligent, knowledgeable enough that when you start talking, people would like to listen. That is one thing I worked on, and I just not care about this stuttering. That actually
yeah.
helps
Um,
me a lot, and now I'm
one
becoming better.
speaker on the TED Talks when he talked about stammering said improve your lifestyle and you will improve your speech. There
Yes.
was there is something deep about that.
Yes.
And now when touching the improving the lifestyle, you said you are a sportsman as well, a footballer. Uh, and we are also recreational, let's say, attendings to the gym or swimming pool or cycling with bicycle. Can you tell us how much important is the physical activity in order to have a good and fluent speech?
Yes. Okay, so first I wanted to tell that uh, in my university time, at that time I was playing football regularly, but every day of my university was very hard because of my stuttering issue. I could not able to speak. I could not able to make friends. But one of the coping mechanism that I had was playing football. I was in a team, a bunch of good players there, and we won tournaments and we participate in every tournament. That is where the university start knowing me as a sportsman than as a person who stutters. They know about my stuttering, but they recognize me as he's good in football. So that actually really helped me getting through in the university time. And look, any sports it teaches you a lot. It teaches you how to lead, how to be a team player, how to be patient, how to accept the loss, and stand up again for next encounter. So I think, and also as you have mentioned, physical fitness is related to your mental fitness. If you are not physically fit, you're not your mind is not that fit, and if your mind is not fit, you start getting anxious, nervous instantly, and which impact your speaking skills. Other than that, eating good is very important. Eating healthy is very important because your gut is actually connected uh, to your brain. What if you eat bad, it actually affects your mental abilities, which ultimately affect your speaking skills. So both the exercise and eating good is, you can say, most important things that I think
I
which helps
am
you.
not sure if the English have the same saying, but we in Serbia say u zdravom telu zdrav duh, and that means in the healthy body a healthy spirit will be. So totally agree with that.
Yeah,
Pawandeep?
yeah, I think that's pretty true. I think Pakistan, India, and I think all over the world, I think right now there is a recognition that people have to become healthier to keep the world healthier also. So that is also true for a person who wants to improve stuttering and stammering. And yeah, Ehsan, so uh, back there in your nation, uh, what do you think? Like how are people recognizing stuttering right now? And basically, how are they seeing people who stutter? Like you mentioned that unfortunately there there were people or there are people who are or were your friends who used to laugh at you. Maybe it's not their mistake because there is a lack of education, uh, right? So how do you see that people right now are seeing this problem, and what aspects do you want channels like us to actually say to them so that the amount of education in this field grows more?
Right. Yeah, education actually plays a key role to make a good environment around those people who stutter. I believe. Look, my experience was really bad, and actually people think that if you are stuttering, for example, what my experience is that when you start stuttering, they think that you don't have enough to say. You are dumb, you are not intelligent, and you are not good to be a friend with, to, uh, to talk to with. This is what their mentality is. They don't know much about stammering. I don't see many people around me that stutter. Because I don't think there are many people in Pakistan, or maybe there are, but I don't see many. But but I think the people have to have the education about what this stammering is. This is a psychological issue. This this is not a people, not a person who's dumb. And
Ahsan,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
I'm sorry, but I have to add, it's a psychophysiological issue, since when you stammer, you have spasms, cramps, right?
Yeah.
That will affect your articulators and not allow you to speech, and actually sometimes it do hurt, right?
Yes, and I wanted to share one story that actually share that how most of the Pakistani think about stuttering. That when I was very young, one day uh, I met one uncle. He was my father's friend, and he asked me my name. So at the start, I was facing very difficulty to even say my name. So I start saying that my name is, and I stuck so badly. It took me like 40 to 60 seconds to say my name. And they told me on my face that how a person don't know or don't remember his name. So he thought like that I forget my name, or I don't know my name, something like that. So people actually don't realize that what this issue is, and uh, how it can be cured. Even my mother, my father, they don't even know that speech therapy is a thing, or they they always think that he will get better, that I will get better with time. They always think like that. So yeah, I think you're very right. In Indo-Pak, we need a proper education, and yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I hope that with the work of channels such as ours, we will remove a stigma regarding stammering um, in total. And I think it's time, it's the web age. The world has become a village. And if there is enough of bravery in our ranks, let's say in the ranks of people who stammer, the bravery will bring the results. So I think that we are on the good path. My next question, Ahsan, um, uh, to be honest, I kind of, but
Yeah.
let me try. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, so that is a Pakistani perspective. Can you tell me, like in my city, Novi Sad in Serbia, like let's say 5 to 6 years, in the whole city of 100,000 people, there was only one public speech therapist um, in the hospital, and he would send you to Belgrade for a speech therapy. How is this now? The situation is much improved. I don't know why there are many private speech therapy centers, which I'm glad to see. How is the situation in Pakistan? Is that speech therapy's profession spread, or do you still have problems?
Yeah, I think you find a good number of speech therapists there. But okay, so let me tell you my experience with let me tell you my experience with the speech therapist. So as when I was graduated, I knew that I have to work on my communication, and I have to uh, go to the speech therapist to work. So I went to a nearby hospital that was one of the biggest hospital here in Pakistan, and I went to the speech therapy department, and I had a session with a lady. He was a speech therapist. 1 hour session. I shared every detail about how was I feeling and how much severe my stuttering was. At the end of uh, the session, she told me that she and her department only gave the speech therapy for the kids, and you are too old for the speech therapy.
My God.
She gave me that
Oh
after
my,
a 60
My
minutes of
God.
session.
That's
And
really sad.
at that
that is sad. Yeah.
at that time, I understood, maybe I misunderstood, that she was saying that I am too old. I am too old for the speech therapy. I so from that day, I just start believing that the speech therapy chapter is closed. I have to find another avenues to make my speech better. This is not the way, and I believe that for many years after that. But I would say for young kids, for the kids under 18, there are many speech therapists there. So we don't have a shortage of speech therapy.
Uh-huh. Okay. And one apologize to
Anyway.
my city of Novi Sad. It's 260,000 people. Yeah, I made a slight mistake. Um,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, the speech therapy is not only for children, guys, so don't hesitate to go.
And
Pawandeep,
guys,
please. Yeah.
yeah, and guys, to all the young doctors there, Pakistan, this is going to be a great profession for you. So please, you can become like a speech expert, therapist. You will get so many people there. You will have a great future. So, as we come up to the end of our call today, Hassan, as is the norm, uh, what what question do you want Milos and myself to ask to our next guest, who is a very special person whom you also know and whom we also know? And I think people will love to hear him. So what question do you have for him for us to ask him at the very beginning of the call first?
Yeah, yeah, that was difficult question because I have so many questions to ask. But okay, so I wanted to ask him the question that what stammering taught you? What are
That's
the
a
things that
nice one.
stammering?
A good
Was?
philosophical question.
Uh,
And one more thing, w- can you give one motivational quote to our viewers?
motivational quote is that the same thing that I actually shared before, that applying those techniques is good, but going out and experience, there is no replication of that. And exposing yourself, expanding your comfort zone, try talking to the strangers. Let's take a number. Let's say you have to talk to 10 strangers every day. You will see that within a month you see the difference. So
Exactly.
I think this is the only way to improve. And one more thing, actually, we stutterers, we are when we start working on our speech, we become a better speaker, better communicator, and we share better ideas, better thoughts compared to those who are non-stutterers. That's a fact that we start practicing. And quite recently, in my last job, I was not feeling very well in my last job. So I started applying for job, and I started applying for the job where I was dream working for. I applied for 8 companies. I got the call from 5 of them, and I gave interviews, multiple interviews for many companies, and I got the offer from 4 of them. So five, 4 out of 5 companies, I got the offer, and I have like I never thought about it. Like if someone asked me in 2016 that you applied for the best companies of for Pakistan and international, and you got the offer from 4 of them, I thought why are you joking? But now, because of
Yeah.
this practice, because of exposing myself every day, because of practicing every day, I think I'm able to uh, uh, to to give interviews and to give good interviews, and nobody even realized that I was stuttering, or even they realize they are thinking beyond stuttering. They are thinking about the character of a person, the abilities, the way he shared his thoughts. So this is the thing that actually stuttering taught me. So yeah, that is actually what I wanted to share at the
One
end.
last thing, Miloš.
Okay. Do you want to close it off, or should
Yeah.
I?
So guys, firstly, I think we had a wonderful session today. I
Wonderful
think
time. Yeah.
wonderful. We have learned a lot of things. I'm sure that Ehsan is going to be back to our channel in future again because at
Sure.
least I have so many questions to ask you. So we will
I have
surely meet
so
again
much
in
to
future,
share.
Ehsan. Uh,
Yeah,
Guys, I'm sure that he is going to be our main star here, so he will be back, I'm sure. So please like, subscribe to our channel. So one last thing, Ehsan. What do you have to say about our channel?
Yeah, we want some
Oh,
critiques. Be as hardcore
Good
as you
and
can.
bad, good and
Yeah.
bad both.
good or bad, or good and bad. There is nothing bad.
Good or bad,
This
good
this is
and
a
bad.
wonder.
It's on you.
Be as real
That's a
as
wonderful
possible. Yeah.
initiative. I think I hope that you guys could come up earlier, but I think it's better late than never.
Oh my
So it's a
God.
wonderful initiative
We
for
should
all
go
those
more often to
etc. out
Time
there.
Machine. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm enjoying it. And this is actually, this is the first time somebody actually posted me on YouTube. So,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
when
it's our own
something
time first.
You
Yeah.
are going
something
to
comes on
be
a YouTube, it
our
never comes
all-star
down.
here. You are going to be our all-star here. I'm sure about
Also,
that. You will see
Dream team.
when we post this video, the number of views.
oh,
I think
Especially
you have done really
amongst the
well.
ladies, right?
Yeah,
Especially
oh,
amongst the
absolutely.
ladies. Yeah.
Absolutely.
that was my fear, but yeah, maybe after this podcast, my fear of talking to the ladies, maybe it's gone. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and that was actually I was afraid that this is the first time it is going online, it's going on YouTube. let's see how it goes. And yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to see some more special guests like your next guest. So
We
I'm looking forward.
besides Naga, we soon
Oh,
expect. Yeah, Naga is
you actually
next,
say the
but
name?
yeah, but besides
That
him,
was a surprise.
yeah,
Okay.
we will have also one author
I
of
think that
Stammering book,
yeah, I think that
Hanan.
we
Yeah, but
shouldn't name
yeah,
right now.
we can
We
say
shouldn't
that,
name
but
right now, I think. Yeah,
let's leave it as a teaser trailer. So
yeah, yeah.
there will be author of the book. We will have a female perspective. There will be a lot of quality
For all
content
the
for you
viewers.
guys, for
And
you
then
viewers. Yeah.
we will share story of Miloš also very soon. We will be sharing my story also very
Yeah.
soon. So guys,
Oh,
wait for all of these things in future. Yeah,
Mhm.
Miloš. Yeah,
yeah.
thank you.
Looking
I
forward
think
to
it's
it.
Like,
done.
That
like, do
I
not
not only
dislike.
Subscribe.
subscribe,
Uh,
I actually click on the bell icon and waiting for every video. I would be the
you
first
can ring my
viewer of
bell. You can ring my bell. So
Thank you.
like, do not dislike, share, leave the comment and subscribe.
absolutely,
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Ahsan.
you
Thanks a
guys.
lot.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Thank you,
Goodbye.
guys. See you guys. Bye
thank you
Bye
bye.
bye.
guys, everyone. Bye bye. Bye
Bye
guys.
bye.
Bye.